Hi, my name is Brennan. I was born over 40 years ago. I I was born at the end of the year on the 31st of December. Now, for some reason, the priest forgot to come to my christening. He did eventually get there after a few phone calls. He made it to my christening. Whatever reason he had for forgetting an important event in my life, but there's no point giving out about the rest of my life, so I'm only going to mention the good things. When I was a baby, my mother left me in my pram while leaving my sister and brother up to the crossroads to get the bus to school. I got out of the pram and opened the gate somehow, started crawling down the mountain. As I was crawling down, a woman coming up in her car seen me and lifted me up and put her in the car and took me up, and she seen my mother looking for me and she gave her back. Another time my father was left to mind us and I was in my pram and some young goats came down from the mountain and got into the pram. My mother came home with the goats in the pram and my father was in big trouble. After that, that's all I kind of really know about. That was Jenkinstown in County Louth. We went to a place called near Shilling Hill called Glendamara. There, I remember my first Christmas and my first birthday that I got an old second-hand. We were poor, and got an old second-hand horse with wheels, a small kind of horse, not a rocking horse or anything, but anyway, one of the wheels fell off, and my father and me brought it to blacksmiths. I remember going on the bellow and having to go on the bellow going. It was a big, huge, old-fashioned blacksmith's bellow, for heating up the fire for the to make or do the metalwork or to make the horseshoes and all that. Anyway, so that was my first memories of my life, and then after that we moved to Dundalk to Green Acres for a year. I can't really remember. And then we moved into we actually moved into Green Acres before we came into to live in Glendamara. So and then we moved into Dundalk. Things that happened. The first thing I can remember is was going to Joyce's Quay and in a caravan on the beach, and we had a goldfish called Pamela, but it didn't survive much after we got it home and the journey to Joyce's Quay. I can remember playing on the beach and all that. And had some toy cars and they got washed away, and then we found them the next day on the beach. So and then I can remember when we first cycled with my father and my sister. We went to Annigasson. We made as far as the bridge. I remember on the way back, my father stopping at a field and there was mushrooms, and my father climbing over the fence, picking the mushrooms and bringing them home and frying them on the pan. So that's my first memory. And then it was just after that, I can remember being in school and my teacher, Mr. Killen, he didn't think I was smart enough to teach me maths, so he got me to draw the spaceship on the maths book and I drew it perfectly. So I got into drawing at 10, so I was 10 years old. So anyway, then actually I can remember letting my bicycle, before I started going on that push cycle, going to the park, and either it was my brother or my father pulling onto the back of the bike and then letting it go and me falling off. But anyway, that's another memory. I'll leave it for a second and think more about it and continue. Thank you. Anyway, that's the first part. Thank you, Brendan Connolly from Dundalk is my bit of my story of my life. I'll go back on a few things. When I was in Bendamar, I can remember there was an old van or something. I remember playing at the van and catching a stickleback and putting it into an old bat, a round kind of bowl, big bowl. I don't know if it was a bat, it was kind of like a big bowl with handles or a bat, and I'm putting it in there. And I forgot, when I went into Dundalk to live and all that, I can remember a man that worked with Dad taking pictures of us and taking us up to the zoo. I can remember seeing a jaguar in a very small cage. And then I went to Rectamar School, and I can remember this young student teacher coming in to our classroom, and she brought apple seeds with her and paper yoga cartons, and she got me to plant the apple seed. In my life, I seem to bump into people after something happened, and for some reason she was walking her dog on the street one day, and I remembered her, I recognized her, and this must be a week after I planted the apple seed, and I said, "Would you wait a minute, miss, I just want to show you my apple tree." It grew, it didn't survive much after that, but it was just my first tree. But she, Nuala Shaw, she doesn't really like me that much now, but she was the thing that started the whole thing off. I still see her cycling her bicycle. She does cycling, she's really fit. Later on I joined a mountain club called the Wee Binions, and she was on, and I was talking to her, and she reminded me that she was my teacher. Anyway, she did it when I was a child. Anyway, it was kind of funny. Anyway, chatting up my old school teacher. Anyway, anyway, that's the crack. And she got me into my love of growing things and trees and all that. And I suppose she's started the whole thing of my love of wildlife. But don't tell her that. Anyway, that's the story. Anyway, thank you. I'll continue on in a minute when I stop laughing. I can remember when I was at the Christian Brothers Primary School, the thing I actually drew on the maths book was a spaceship. I can remember going on a school tour with the school, and we're going up to Dublin Zoo and the Natural History Museum and seeing the big Irish deer skeleton as we went in the door with the big antlers. It was huge, and going up the stairs and seeing the big skeletons. Oh yeah, I can remember seeing the basking shark. It was a big stuffed basking shark, and going upstairs and seeing the big skeletons of the humpback whale and the blue whale. things like that. I can remember after that, had going transferring from Christian Brothers to Dundalk National School. I was actually the first Catholic in the school. I can remember after that moving to Tippins Wood and Caroline Toner helping me with my reading and seeing my first grey squirrel and getting permission from Caroline Toner to go up Tippins Wood. And she would actually, that morning when she was teaching me my reading, she told me she lost a shoe that she had when she was a child, and Ruth, her child, was wearing it. So as we were coming back down, for some, like I say, things happen sometimes, and I found it. Some miracle, I found the shoe, and I brought it back and gave it to her. She was a bit annoyed. She was expecting Eddie, and she was a bit tired, and she was a bit annoyed that we kind of woke her up from her rest. But I got the shoe back to her anyway. I can understand, she was having a baby, she was expecting. Anyway, that's the crack. The place, actually we stayed in the gatehouse in Balogan Park, that's the wee house there, and near the gates, for a year. I can remember being in the house and seeing these horns of an antelope that was killed probably 100 years ago or more, 200 years ago, and I asked her, could I bring them into Dundalk School, and I put it on the nature table, and then brought it back to give it back to her after showing it to the school. I can remember, when we were going up Tippins Wood, my father getting tired and me and my sister running ahead, and we got near to the top, and there was a bit of a kind of 5-foot climb. My sister couldn't make it, but I made it to the top. So after that, I started, cycling to the shop in Balogan, and getting a nice lolly, kind of a pretty, kind of an orange ice lolly with ice cream. Those ones, kind of like chalk ices, except instead of chocolate, it was kind of an orange kind of coating. Anyway, I can't remember the name of them. After I started, when I got home, I saw her. I remember cycling with my father, bringing me to Roach Castle, and on the way, getting to Coffin Bridge, and there was a man on the bridge, and on me going under the bridge, where there was 3 parts, and there was a bit where the river overflows, that there's an extra part for the river to go on under the bridge, and I went underneath it and all that, and then going as far as the church and asking for directions to Roach Castle. My dad used to work in the post office, so he kind of got to know the area. That's where he started taking me places. We tried to go out we went to Tiburona River, and then I could remember trying to figure out a way of getting up to Cahun's Castle, and I could see it, but I didn't know the way, and we went up a road, and it was a cul-de-sac. I think it led to a school or something, or then we went back down, and then I ran on ahead and went up a road, and I found it, Cahun's Castle, and I got there. I was only a young kid. I remember one time when I was at Dundalk School joining the Scouts. It was actually the Cubs, and I was too old for the Cubs, but I remember going on a hike with them up Castle Mountain and coming down and slipping on the grass, and then the leaders lit a fire to cook sausages, and and the army came up and gave out to the leaders, told them next time they go up the mountain and light fires to tell the guards first if you're going camping or anything. They get permission from the guards first. Oh, it was so funny. Ken Ramsey and David Ross getting told off. Oh yeah, oh, it was hilarious. Anyway, that's the crack anyway. And then I remember going on a camp up to listen to Chico Ring Fort, and children damming some young salmon or trout in a part of the river, and me getting up the next morning and breaking the dam and letting the fish go. They trapped them, and I was annoyed, and then I remember finding a mold, a stone that looked like a mold of an axe, and I didn't know what it was at the time. I laughed at it, but I think it was actually a mold for a bronze axe or something, and I laughed at it. I was at Lisna Chico at the river. I found it in the river. Anyway, that's the crack. Anyway, stop laughing. I'll get back to it. Hello, I'm back again, and I'd like to go back to Rackdamar. There was something I forgot, and I'd like to add it in. When I was in Rackdamar, we went to Dunneria for the day and for most of the day. I remember going to Dunneria with Rackdamar School, and I remember there was this kind of wooden platform, kind of like an old railway platform made out of wood with steps at either side, and went up and we could see deer. I don't know what kind of deer they were, but they were then we went, and we seen them and all that, and I went and I saw a horse chestnut. It was held up by supports because it must be a very old tree. There's some history to it. I must find it. I'll actually look it up and get back to it and back to you on that. What's the importance of this chestnut tree that they didn't want to cut down? That was filled in with cement and all that. It was hollow. And anyway, we were going back, and I wanted to see the deer again, so I kind of sneaked away from the school, from the teachers. I stayed at the end, and I went back to see the deer. My love of wildlife and all that, even a kid. And I remember going and seeing the deer and coming back, and Mrs. Carl looking for me. She's not here now, but I'm passed away. But I remember her being annoyed with me for disappearing from the group and I wasn't lost, I was just exploring more. Anyway, that's the crack. And then in Dundalk National School, I can remember Mrs. Smith. She was our headmistress and my teacher. I remember I wasn't great with the reading, but I used to love listening to the other kids reading the stories, and that's, I suppose, why I write short stories now. I've written Brendan's Tales, and I suppose I have a few of my stories up on Instagram and YouTube. Big Tuscan, Sea Duck, about a Viking, a fisherman or a boat builder getting the idea from seeing ducks at sea for the ideas for Viking ships. Or anyway, and then there's temperature regulator and the king, the White Knight, the blacksmith stirrer, and the king's 8 or 9 daughters. I can't remember how many. It happened. I was telling him I was in Life Kennist. It's actually Smith, the old family Smith's Kennist, and I was telling. Aoife, I was telling Aoife the story, and she says, "Oh, you have to add everybody. You have to in the cast. So you have to add their names to the story." So, and Aoife, it's like Aoife's the one of the I can't remember if she the blacksmith's daughter or she actually one of the king's daughters. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's how it all came about. The story. It was going to be something totally different, and I just accidentally walked into the chemist and told someone, and I had to add everybody to the story. I nearly got in trouble for leaving out what's her name Kira. So I added her to a story called the Green Warriors about her, and I put her in that story for her. I wrote that story for her. But to get back, when I was in Miss Smith's class, I remember her getting the caretaker to take an old bookcase out of the storeroom, and he did. And I remember looking through the bookcase, and there was an old bird book, 1930s, a really small one. And I asked Mrs. Smith, could I have a lend of it, and she lent it to me. And I took it home, and my father, I couldn't read, I still can't read now. I don't know what's wrong with me, I just can't learn. Someone nearly learned me once up in Dublin, but I didn't keep it up, and Catherine, I'll get back to her. She helped me. She was anyway. She was from Dublin. I was up in Dublin for a year when I was in my 20s, young. I was 20, I think. 19 or 20. Anyway, that's so far. Anyway, I started my love of bird watching from Mrs. Smith lending me the bird book. Anyway, my finches and my other birds, goldfinch and all that, and the charfinch and the tits and all, lily tits. Anyway, thank you. I'll take a break for a minute. Back again. And I can remember something when I was in the share centre, going back, that we actually went on a cycle, which I remember that morning, them tightening the bikes and all, getting them ready, and people from the share centre, and we went out on the bicycles and we cycled. And some people went on bicycles, we went on bicycles, and some people went on the Canadian canoes, and they were to meet us when we got to our destination and swap the bicycles we were on with their canoes. So that's how we kind of what we did, and it was a good day. Oh, another thing I remember is we went out for a day trip to what was it? Pomana. I can't remember the name of the town. It must be Pomana Town or something. Anyway, I can remember going on the boat. It was a kind of a model of it wasn't a Brain model. It was a Viking ship, but it had a motor on it. And we went to town, and then another time on that boat, or one of the boats, they had two. I think it was that boat. We went to an island in the share centre, whatever the name of the lake was, and we went out to an island, and there was an old man from Canada, and he had teepees, and there was a girl he was with, but we didn't see her. She stayed away while he was in the tent telling us stories, and we stayed the night. He was telling old Native American stories, and he showed us a peace pipe. I can remember that. And I remember getting up early and going for a walk around the island before I was heading back to the share centre. Oh yeah, I went out on a windsurfer too. I remember going out on a windsurfer at the share centre, and I was heading out and I was doing brilliant, and someone shouted, one of the instructors shouted, "Would you turn back? You're heading out to the middle of the lake." And I tried to turn it around and I fell in. So I did. Anyway, that's the crack. Then I can remember going to the Cook Mountains, and I'm walking through a lake. It was a really bad day and it was windy and all that, and one of our tents blew away that night. It was with David Sloan. He led us and all that, we were really blown away, and we only had, it was a wee 2-man tent with 3. We had to share it with another one because another person, because another scout, because from our troop, because one of the tents blew away from us. It was a disaster. God, it was oh God. That was the crack. And then as far as oh yeah, I remember going when I was young. I remember after the scouts going on Rye Mountain, I remember going out to the Lumpers pub and leaving my father at the bridge and going up and climbing Clonard Cairn on my own. This is the first mountain. I didn't even think I climbed it the day we went up Castle's a bit over Connolly, and then you got Castle, and I went up Clonard Cairn on my own. I remember being in the Mourne Mountains one night. We stayed overnight. There was I can't remember what the name is, Irish of Fox, what they called the camp, and we were just going for a night, and the tent blew down, and then I went out in wellies up in the hike and got up to the Hare's Gap and had to be carried down because I got blisters. Or there was another time I went on a hike during there was snow and ice, and I had a stick, and the stick broke, and I saw an ice puddle, and I went to break the ice, and it was a bog hole, and I sunk, and I had to be carried off the mountain. These are things that happened to me. That story was told for years. Probably other ones was told too. It's I was a disaster. But then years later, I was with Niall McCooey. We were helping out as scouts. I think he was helping out as Sea Scouts, and I was in the pub, and he says, "What? David Sloan was there. The man mentioned that he took us on the scout. He was our leader. He was from 5th Loud Scout Group, but he was helping out 1st Loud. And he said, David is in a mountain club called the Wee Binions. Why don't you ask him and can you go with him and see if you can join the group and get into hill walking?" And thanks to Niall McCooey, I got into hill walking. So it's all to do with Niall McCooey. So I thank you, Niall McCooey. If I never said thank you, you got me into hill walking. Only for you, I probably never would have. And I thank you. Anyway, that's the crack. So thanks, Niall McCooey, and I'm going to take another break. Get back to you hopefully soon after a commercial break. Thank you. I remember one time we went with the Scouts to Crawfordsburn and going to see the Transport Museum and the Ulster Museum, and I remember you know we went to look at a place where there was an old gun tower for during the war. It was in Bangor, and so these are the kind of memories I have. But they're kind of like I say, you do something and you just remember something again. So Niall McHugh was a scout leader in Blackrock Scout Troop, and David Sloan was in 5th Line, and Niall told me about the Wee Benions, so I got into the Wee Benions. I did a lot of things with Scouts. I can't remember them all, but what was it? Probably come back to me. Like I say, I was in Scouts for 5 years. Oh yeah, Ballyfin '93. I nearly forgot. How could I forget Ballyfin '93? I remember. We went down on the train from Dublin, bringing all our gear. It was a World Jamboree. Scouts from Canada. I'm not sure if they were from America. Some were from Australia, England, and all that. Different parts of the world. Probably France was there. I'm not sure. But I remember going on paragliding with a parachute pulled by a paraglider on my own. I didn't go. Someone wasn't harnessed with me. I went up, and I remember it was really high. I can't say how high, but I could see for miles, and it was only for a couple of seconds. And I came down, and I landed okay, and all that. I remember doing a slow course and getting wet. I was 18, so it was there was a big scout camp, a big circus tent, I mean, and I remember getting my first drink. I think Niall McCready or someone bought it for me. I'm not sure. Bought me the drink, or Charles Ross. I'm not sure who bought me the drink. I actually think it was Niall McCready. I think he was there, and I think he bought me a drink. And it was half a pint. And oh yeah, and there was a tribute band to what's his name? That chap sings what's his name? Oh god, I'm just a poor boy in a poor family with my life. Oh yeah, what's his name? Oh god. Oh, I'm just getting a brain freeze. I'll come back to me. Oh god. Freddie Mercury, of course. God, how could I forget Freddie Mercury? Oh, let's say, brain freeze. It just takes me a couple of seconds. I have a real problem with my brain. I was run over by a coal lorry when I was a child, left with a brain injury, but I don't let it stop me. Even though I do get brain freezes, I freeze for a minute, and I suppose you've noticed when I've been telling the story, my brain kind of freezes, and I'm trying to rack my brain to think what's the actual name of or the actor or the thing or the person, or I get a brain freeze. And if I was 7, it could be worse. I could have died. At least I'm still here. It's like I say, if I didn't have that accident, I still wouldn't be living in Dundalk, and I'd be living somewhere else. If my life wasn't so crap, I wouldn't have met the people I've met, like Fiona, Connor, and Niall McHugh, and all that, and David Sloan, and Jerry Kern, and Pat McGasson, and all these people that made a great influence in my life. Oid, of course, and Chloe, and there's a nice person I know, Anya. She's anyway, I can't be. She's just someone I know. She's just really nice. She's just anyway. That's my life. I just get on with it. I like I say, I'm not going to go into any bad things. There's no point. It's not going to make my life any better. Crying about it, so I just get on with it. I loads of setbacks, but still, I'm still here in Dundalk, in the same house for the last 42 years. Since I was 6, we moved in, and it could be worse. Anyway, I'll take another break. Anyway, thank you. With another commercial break. We're back in 5 minutes. Another thing that happened in Ballyfin '93. Mary Robinson came in her helicopter, and that day, I don't think she was actually on the helicopter when this happened. Her helicopter was coming down, landing somewhere, and it was landing near the portable toilets, and the wind from the blades tumbled the toilet, and there was a wee girl in it, and she got blue fluid all over her. And we were really smelly, and that evening we met Mary. We were in the queue waiting Mary Robinson, and I must have been really smelly and dirty because we didn't have we weren't access to any showers or we tried to clean ourselves, but it was very hard. But I probably was a bit smelly, and she skipped me in the queue, but I wouldn't have shook my hand anyway either. I was probably stinking. Anyway, the crack is, or they took the girl to the shower and they had to wash it off in the college. She got a free shower. Lucky little girl, she got a shower. But she had to get blue fluid all over to get the shower. Anyway, I don't know. And thank God I could have been in that toilet. Anybody could have been in that toilet. Except for Mary Robinson, she probably got a toilet in the college. Anyway, that's the crack. Anyway, that's the crack. Then like I say, I got into rebellions, and like I say, I bumped into Nuala Shaw again, and on Liam Hughes and Desi. I can't remember, and Thomas and Thomas Jr. Sad that years later he was in Donegal, keeping the, one that kind of keeps the crowds back from the cars to keep them safe, and the car went out of control and killed him and his friend. It's really sad, but I met him in the Wee Binions. It's unbelievable. He was only young. He was much younger than me. Anyway, he was a Stuart. But anyway, I met him in the Wee Binions, and he was on the first walk, and we climbed up Cloward Cairn we were in the coolies, and Liam Hughes split to go up Clermont. We were just on a small hike. It was it was this, and Liam started leading the A groups, and we used to go out in the A groups and all that with Liam, and he used to be really fast. People used to be, you know, saying we can't keep up with him, and we want to go on the A groups, but we can't keep up with Liam. I think at the end I had laughed at the time, but they made a super A group because they wanted an A group for people that wanted to go on an A walk, and then they made a super league A group that was better than the other A group. It was so anyway. It was, but anyway, that's the crack. I went to Wales in the Lake District with them. I went up Anna Egg or stuff. Can't remember the names. Which one's which? One in Scotland. I was in climbing in Scotland one time. I did the Anna Egg or what was another or something else. I can't remember the names of them. But we went up a ridge in Wales. I remember getting onto it, and when we got, there was this little hard climb, and we got onto the ridge, and there was someone walking their Jack Russell dog on this ridge, and we got lost, and we were coming down. We came into this valley with loads of tile piles, from old mining, from slates. And I remember coming out into a car park, and we could see our bus driving past for the Binions, and there was a car park across the road from where we came down, and there was a minibus, and we give a driver a fiver if he'd take us to the Halfpenny Pass where our bus was, and we attended. We didn't get lost. Anyway, we did way lost. We went down the wrong way. I'm not saying who it was that was leading us. Anyway, I'm not any better. I definitely would have got lost if I was leading. But anyway, it wasn't me. And then I was in Scotland. I did this ridge. It was about a 3-hour walk, and we came into a valley called the Lost Valley, and they used to steal the cattle, and this was Club Coolan. I used to do rock climbing up in Dundalk Quarry, and I met them, and I joined the group, and we went to Scotland, and I remember seeing a ptarmigan bird, it was white. They changed colours time of year, and it was winter, and it was white. They're pretty rare, and you only can see them in Scotland. And then I remember going to a brothel. It's not a place for. I can't remember the mountain name for it. Don't quote me wrong. It's a place up in the Scottish mountains for people to stay overnight, Vivian. You don't need. You could just drop in, and if it's empty, you can use it. Or I think it's online now that you can say you're going to drop into these places. They're all over Scotland. So if you want to, you don't have to pay. They're just free. So if you go to Scotland and look these places up, they're in the mountains. And I remember going up and it was starting to snow, and then I remember going with a man to in his car, and he was saying a hired car was off-road car. You can do what you want with it. don't let the people that hire out the cars hear that. Don't hire your cars to hill walkers. Or give them make sure you insure them extra for the for the car. Anyway, don't. Anyway. Anyway, it was remember another time. I was there a week in Scotland with Club Coolan, and I remember him taking me to this. There was a big fence around it. It must have been for deer or something, and a big ladder over it, and we would walk for miles before we got to the mountains. I mean miles. With the wee opinions, I remember going to Clifton and doing the bends, some of the bends, not all of them, and we stayed in a holiday village, and I remember seeing some small, very old oak trees in the grounds in the car of the holiday village, and we stayed. Different things like that. I remember going back with the scout leaders to the Coca Mountains, and we got lost. But only I realised we were going the wrong way. But I said, I didn't realise. I realised we were going the wrong way, but I didn't say anything. I kept my mouth shut because I didn't want to interfere. And then all of a sudden, one of the leaders says, "We're going the wrong way," and then my hat blows away. And David to this day thinks I was going to run after it, but I wasn't. But anyway, he thought I was going to run off the mountain after a hat. I wasn't. Not that bad. Anyway, that's crack. And I've climbed the highest mountain in Switzerland, and I remember going up and not going to the final point. There was a kind of 2-foot bits, and I stayed behind. And then I remember these guys coming down, some Basque people, and the rope got all tangled up and cut up in the rocks. And I asked Brendan, could we let them come down on our rope? Trouble, so I kind of asked. I'm sure Brendan would have done it anyway. The other Brendan Dunnigan, he disappeared a year later in South America and down a crevasse. I never seen him again. I had actually a dream about it last night. I seen him again, and he says, "No, I didn't actually. I was always hoping that when he disappeared, he was just trying to get away from his wife." I shouldn't say that. No, I didn't say that. I'm still hoping he's still alive. He was never found. Anyway, that's the crack. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that. But that's an idea of my life and what I did. I've seen plenty of wildlife. I'm going to mention one more thing. It was my dream to plant a woodland. My friend Connor, has a girlfriend. I only know her a year, and less than a year that I know her, I've been in Donegal 5 times. She's taken me down 5 times to plant trees. It was my dream to plant trees, and she brought me to the highest cliffs in Ireland and all that, and she can just spot birds like that, and I got pictures with the help of her Owetia, and she just spotted it, and I got a picture of it along the road. She was just driving past, and she's seen the deer and all that. She's just so into wildlife. She loves wildlife. She's just so nice person, and she's just into it. She just I think she studied it, and when she was a young lady, she's always asking me to take pictures of plants and jellyfish for her, and send them to her. When I was anytime I've been with her. That's the crack. And Camp Fiona. I went to Clare with her and Connor. This was before Connor's new girlfriend, this Fiona, and my life totally changed when I met this lady. The first time we went to Clare. This is it was actually the second time, but we went down. The second time we went down, we went to some cliffs, and I got in some trouble. My shoes I was a bit slippy, and I was slipping down. She gave me her hand, and Connor ran down and pushed me back up. But she kind of, more or less, helped stop me from falling. I don't want to get too into it, because she doesn't want me to. She wouldn't like that. So I don't want to say, but she kind of, only for her taking my hand, I probably would. I could have slipped down a cliff. There was a plateau. I might have been just lucky enough to fall onto the plateau, but I could have rolled on further into the Atlantic Ocean. So, anyway, and then she danced with me in the matchmaking in Van Doren. I can't think of the place. It's in Clare. She's always been nice to me. And then the first time I remember now, we went to the house that Father Ted was, the outside, where the starts with Father Ted, and she of course she kicked me up the backside like Father Brennan getting kicked up the backside, and we had tea. I took my old bike down, and there wasn't brakes on it, and I nearly run over the owner of Father Ted's house, or the owner that owns the house, the farmer, and he says he invited us back for tea. He said he bumped into Connor. For some miracle, he actually bumped into Connor, and we were invited back for tea in Father Ted's house. So it's crack. Anyway, going swimming in a lake. I can't remember the name. It dries up, Turlock or something. And we went swimming, and we threw mud and all that, and good crack. It was a great day. And then the second time we went cycling for about 16 miles on that hill, and of course I had a new bike and my brakes weren't breaking down, and I'm oh god, I was trying to keep up, and I was at the back. Fiona was in the front of me all the time. I was trying to keep up. Anyway, that was the crack. And Chloe. I can't forget Chloe. How could I forget Chloe? She's my cousin. She was Fiona's lodger, and I went for a cycle with her one day, and we found out we were cousins. Oh, nearly cousins. We say we're cousins. We're still trying to work that out, how we're related to each other. Anyway, and she's kind of my hero. She runs. She's in 3 marathons. She's on GoFundMe, and she raised up over €1,000 for Cross Cause charity. That's Connor Hughes' charity. He's my best friend. If I didn't meet him, I wouldn't have a life. He is my life. I put too much pressure on him. Anyway, he's always in Romania and Ghana and Africa. He never stops. He's most of his life in other countries, doing something. He does a gig every year in Italy, so he's always away for a week or two. he's never hardly in the country, and when he is in the country, he never stops working for the charity, filling containers and lorries for Ghana and lorries for Romania. He's just unbelievable. If you want to help Connor Hughes Cross Cause Charity, he's a hero. He's always risking his life. Even at the minute, he's in Africa at the moment, and with his girlfriend and with the work they're doing. I think they rescued a donkey. He keeps sending me these pictures of this donkey, and she loves donkeys, and I think she's rescued it. I made a passport to bring him home, so hopefully we can get him on the plane. It's Connor Jr. And hopefully we can get him home to Ireland. No, I'm only joking. I think he'll probably stay with the children in Ghana and the place he built for the children. So hopefully he'll do well. Anyway, thank you. That's most of my life. If I could go on forever and tell all details. The highest mountain I did was in Switzerland, was the Monte Rosa, and I saw wildlife there too, and I seen a nutcracker, I seen squirrels, and I saw mountain antelope, and in Ireland I've seen golden eagle, which of course was with Connor's girlfriend too. I owe so much to this woman. Hopefully, I'll always will be our friend. Anyway, she's a great lady. Animals I've seen just before I stop is the common seal, the grey seal, fox, hedgehog, badger, otter, pygmy shrew, hare, Irish mountain hare. I've seen peregrines. I've seen a marsh harrier. I've seen a merlin, sparrowhawks, and different things. So probably other things I've seen. I've seen a mink once. I've seen let's see, it's most things. I've seen what else did I see? I once was coming off a mountain and I accidentally went onto a cliff, and there was a peregrine 5 foot away from me. I won't mention where because I don't want to mention where these nest sites are. For the birds safely. I know accidentally coming down off a mountain, and he literally looked at me and he just glided into the air, and I was literally just close as I ever into a peregrine. I nearly stepped onto a hare once up in the mountain too. An old ruins of a foundation of a house. I remember my physics teacher giving me an end of a book and me going to Ravensdale and finding the giant sequoia trees that grow there. It's all changed now, but I can't find one or two more that I found when I was a child. But it's all changed and things have grown up, so hopefully they're still there, the trees. And anyway, I've grown 200 trees. Actually turned out to be 100. Some of them didn't survive, so it's about 130 trees out of 250 acorns. And David out of RD Garden Centre is looking after them for me until I find somewhere to plant them. I'm on GoFundMe if anybody wants, on Brendan Connolly Green Forest, if you want to help me raise money to plant a forest in County Louth. So if you want to help, I'm on GoFundMe, and I'm going to try to do it for my 50th birthday at the end of 2024. In 2025 I will be 50. So if you want to help, I'm doing it to help the environment, wildlife, everything, to give people somewhere that can go and chill out and just have the same experience as I had learning about the wildlife and seeing things and just chilling out. Thank you. My name is Brendan Connolly. I'm signing off. I hope you like my story of my life. I know it's short, but I'm not that old yet. Oh, a few things I forgot to mention. When I was with Club Coolin, I met them in Dorky Quarry, and they said took beginners on. I remember them taking me to Wicklow and me going up a climb, and there was oak trees growing out of the rock faces, and I remember seeing these old ancient oak trees, small, growing out of the tree, and me climbing around them and getting up. They tied 2 ropes together and we abseiled 60 metres down off the top of the climb. We went to Lamigan with them too, and we found a shell from World War II, and we marked it. And I remember going to the police barracks in the north and showing them on the map where we marked it. I remember picking it up and thinking it was, or Jim picking it up thinking it was a flask, and I'm putting it down very carefully, and he realised it was a shell from World War II, and they used to use it as Mormons as a firing range. So I used to walk Fiona's dog, Pippin. I love that dog more than I love Fiona, and Fiona one time took me out. She used to take me out for walks. She kind of one time I asked her, would you take me out to Green Ore to see Finn the dolphin, and she matched me bang, and she took me out for 3 hours, and we watched the dolphin together, and it was my first common dolphin. I seen fungi. 7 years ago I knew fungi was going to disappear or die, so I went 7 years ago to see him, and I got my last with fungi, but it was my first common dolphin with Fiona. I went down on my own. I don't like travelling on my own because of my reading problem, but I got the courage because I knew if I didn't go down I might never see fungi again. What else? With Jerry Kern, he was at a group called the Druids, and used to go with Pat Gaston, and we used to go out walking. I remember seeing a Brocken spectre. It's a kind of a big circle of a rainbow, and the shadow of a person would be in the middle of it, whatever person it chose. But the shadow of the person standing in chose one of us in the group. I don't know which one it chose. It's kind of the Brocken spectre is kind of a spectre, a ghost. So, but it looked like an angel. Anyway, that's the crack. That's the 2 last things. I can't think of anything else. There's probably loads of other stories I could tell you. That's it. That's mainly all I can think of at the minute. Anyway, that's the end. This time I'm really signing off this time. Unless I think of something else. Anyway, thank you, Brendan Connolly, and thanks. Of course, I just forgot something. Of course, I went into Clare recently with Connor and his new girl, and his girlfriend. I won't say his new girlfriend. It is his girlfriend now at the moment. She's not his new girlfriend. She's been out with him a couple of years. But anyway, this is is a wee joke I have. Anyway, we went down and went to animal cage, where the bears, no, I can't pronounce it properly, and went to a ring for it. It was a kilometre walk, but it was worth it. I wanted to go to the one nearer to the road. There was another one, a bigger one, but this one was right up on a cliff, and Connor wanted to see if we could see Father Ted's house from the cliff, so we walked for a kilometre with my sore hip. Oh, I have a sore hip, and it's actually getting better, thank God. Anyway, and then we went to the cliffs of. We went to a beach. Oh yeah, on the way we went into a lake called what's it called? Harris Lake or something. I can't remember the name of the lake. But it was went for a swim. Did a dead man's float. Did it a few times with Connor's girlfriend. She held me up and didn't let me go. And then we went to the cliffs of Moor, and she went up higher, and me and Connor took a few pictures of me at Cliff of Moor, and that was the first time I was in Cliffs of Moor. Oh yeah, we got views of pictures of Yarn Islands and all that. It was a really great trip, and then we went to in Banador, but a blind matchmaking festival is anyway oh yeah, and Doris Connor's girlfriend danced with me. Anyway, that's the crack. Anyway, that best time ever, and and Pippin is not with Fiona anymore. He's now spending his life in Texas, having a good life. I really miss that dog. Anyway, I love that dog more than I love Fiona. Anyway, that's the crack. Thank you. Hopefully this is now at the end. I've just remembered a few things. I had a friend called Paul Cummins, and we used to go to places. I've been to what was it? To Kerry, to Killarney. I think I don't know if we stayed. We went to Killarney, and then what's it called? Dingle, and in Killarney we went for a cycle, and we went up Carrant Hill along the ridge. We went. So we did a good bit of things when we were there. We did Carrant Hill. Oh yeah, that brings me back to the time I went down with Mr. Hollywood's au pair, Amalda. She was Australian. We went down and we went up, did Carrant Hill, and went up to Harris Gap. I kind of was worried that she'd go up to Harris Gap, and she got a bit annoyed with me and told me to go ahead. Because I was Molly coddling her, kind of, I was worried. But we got up anyway, and then we had an argument about when we were on the cycle, one of the cycles we went on, and about dinosaurs being related to birds, and she said I was wrong, and then when spring was and all this. It was kind of like, but she was a nice girl. I wonder what she's doing now. I'd like to see her again. If you're around, Amalda, would you pop in to see me? If you're in Ireland sometime, if you're not still in Australia, wherever you are in the world, if you're still around. And then I was like when I walked with the wee bunions, but with Paul Cummins I've been to I went to the French Alps. I didn't do any climbing, but he did a bit of climbing. And even we went into Switzerland and visited a zoo while we were there because it was so close. When I was putting him over there, there was a friend of his could drive, and we hired out a car and we went to Tour de France. It was in France at the time, and we walked for 3 miles and up the mountain to see them go do the climb up the hill, the big hill. That was good. When I was a youngster, I went to Paris with the school. Went to Euro Disney in Paris. I went up the Eiffel Tower, tried to get up to the top of the Eiffel Tower, or nearest we could to it, but the queue was too big to get a ticket, so we didn't actually get up to the highest point. We went to the museum and saw painting. Oh no, we didn't go to the museum. We didn't see the Mona Lisa, but we went to some big house, some famous French. We went to some square and there was a totem pole, a Canadian totem pole. I remember seeing that. I took pictures, but I've lost them. I used to walk the wee venues in the morning, mountains in County Down. I've climbed a lot of mountains. I'd say I must have climbed over 100 mountains or more, in Ireland. I've done Arrow in Donegal. I was there in Dunlow. There was a man called Brian McDonald. He's dead now, but I remember there was a man and his little girl had a pumpet, a string pumpet, and there was a pedestrian crossing and we were pulling back the traffic. I was with the puppet and Brian was pulling back the traffic, and all of a sudden the guards came and we had to run for it. It was so funny. Brian McCann was a really old man. To do this, it was kind of a laugh. Seeing me and this old man running away from the guards. And then there's Pat McMahon used to do the Christmas walks, but they're blind at Christmas. I think it was Boxing Day. I remember doing that every year for this is when I was 20. I'm now 48. I'll be 49 at the end of the year. It was good times. Like I say, I planted trees with Connor's girlfriend. I kind of dug the hole and she bent down. I can't bend. I wouldn't be able to get back up. I'm really not fit anymore. I used to be able to run the mountains and all that, but I can't do it now. And she helped me. One day we planted over 80 trees, and we used to go that. One time we went down for 3 weeks. We went down for a day. So we'd go down and just we'd do some work and then go back to Dundalk. She loves dogs. She has 2 dogs and she rescued, and she has a cat. I don't know if it's the same cat, but there was a cat she rescued where she was from. She called it. She had a friend she knew in the guards, and he got the fire brigade to go and rescue the cat for her out of the tree, and she took it home. It was someone's cat. It was a stray cat. Anyway, she used her influence having a friend as a guard. Anyway, that's the crack. Anymore. I used to walk to Blackrock and to part of Niall McHugh's, the wee cottage there, and take pictures of draw a view of the old house on the rocks. I take wildlife pictures. I got into pictures. I got my first camera when I was a child, a wee Kodak camera, and then when I was in my 20s, I got a camera from Levy's Kenneth up in near the post office, and I started taking pictures of wildlife, and then I got a digital camera, and Jared Smith told me to get a better lens for my digital camera. He kept at me. He passed away a couple of years ago. I miss him. He was a nice man. He just kept at me, and I eventually got a big 500mm lens, and I started getting more into taking pictures of wildlife. And I met Dougie Allen. He was a cameraman for David Attenborough at a show, and he told me to keep taking the pictures. I annoy him a lot of the times, send him emails. But anyway, he's a great man. I've been to Paul Cummins. I've been to Alton Towers. That was brilliant. England is amazing. Countryside. Anyway. I climbed Ben Nevis in Scotland. To 7 other mountains that day too. So I did a lot. These things will come back to me, but I could go on forever. I climbed a lot of mountains. Can't remember the names of them all. And hills and walks. I've been to what was it? Well, I haven't actually been to the Giant's Causeway. That's somewhere I have to go to. Maybe I can talk Connor and kind of get on into bringing me there. What's the name of the Alley Castle, is it? Alley Castle, I think that's near to the. We did a cliff walk there with the Binions. I did a walk in different walks. I can't remember them all. Remember driving through France when we were going to we were in with Club Coolin and going to Switzerland, and we were driving and we stopped in a French town and seen the big bridge, canal bridge, and there was a canal actually on the bridge. I remember going up, I thought it was a bridge. I remember walking when we were going back to the ferry, climbing up to a kind of a cliff, looking down, when we were waiting for the ferry. The bird I saw was a spotted nutcracker, brown with white spots, and Saspay, I think, is where we went up on the cable car. remember being in the cable car and going into the cable car, and I was holding my bag, and everyone had put their bags piled, and they let everybody in, and I got nearly crushed. And I remember the man that was in charge of the cable car going out to the people for putting their bags down the ground, and me nearly and then piling on. I nearly got crushed in the cable car, and it wasn't my fault. It was fucking. He apologised to me for what happened. I was the only one that didn't put my bag on the ground, and so at least I didn't get in trouble. Anyway, and then I remember going in a small cable car, and it's stopping. We were, and I remember going up one day to a hut. We stayed overnight in a hut to get acclimatised. And I remember going up and saying, "There's a bus out here." Oh, that's not a bus stop, because it was a narrow track, or a narrow forest road. And the next day we were going, the cable cars were getting fixed, and we took the car down. So we had to go on a bus, and Eamon, was it Eamon? So one of the chaps was afraid of heights. I don't know, or cable cars, and then we were going up this narrow road and zigzags, and the bus was in mid-air going around, like one wheel would be on one side of the zigzag and the other would be on the other, going around the other side, and the bus be in mid-air. I remember being in the cable car with him, and it stopped for about 10 minutes, and he was getting worried. But this, it was unbelievable crack. I remember staying in the hut when we were going to climb the Monte Rosa, and one of the fellas wanted the window open, an outgroup wanted the window open, but someone, another man, French or wherever country he was from, wanted the window closed, so he gave him his blanket so he could have the window open. And the man took the blanket and he closed the window, and he lost his blanket. That was so funny. I remember going up that morning. We went up at 1 o'clock, because you have to go up before the ice melts at the Monte Rosa, and you can see the sun rising. And, oh man, around the mountains, and the mountains getting brighter and brighter in the Alps. It was just beautiful. And in Scotland, it's just really nice. I remember when we were going down Ben Nevis, I zigzagged, like we were skiing on our boots, and then there was this kind of track going down Ben Nevis. Like it was kind of like snow on it, and it wasn't kind of like a track, it was kind of like a big slide. And I got my bivy bag out and my ice axe, and I started sliding down the mountain, and everyone started copying me. It was so great. I mean, I got pictures of people just sliding down Ben Nevis, a track down Ben, a snow slide down Ben Nevis. It was brain crack. Probably really dangerous, but I was more reckless that time. I was young. I was only in my 20s. It was great crack. Anyway, God, that's crack. I could go on forever probably, but that's mainly it. Let's see if anything else. That's it. For a minute, going forward, unless I think of something else. Anyway, thank you. Little things I'm starting to remember. There's this great lady I know. She gave up 12 years of her life looking after children with severe learning disabilities in Romania. Her name is Pauline. I won't say her full name, she probably wouldn't like that. But she gave up 12 years of her life. Recently, she's really busy at the moment. We used to go out on spins and walks. We actually did hadn't done it in years. We climbed Clonmacern, Black Mountain, together. I slowed down a bit, and we climbed up together. Oh yeah, and we went to Newcastle a couple of years ago, over on the ferry at Greenall. Oh yeah, just to say in Ballyfin, when I went through the South Coast, the reason I got wet was the leaders were standing over a net. We were going under a net, and the leaders poured water over us, and we got wet and muddy. And oh yeah, and when I was in Scotland, we went to a valley when we were going up to do Ben Nevis through Glen Nevis Valley. Now when we were getting there, we went along through this big huge boulder. I went to along a river, and it took us out into the valley. And there was another day we went to in the Glen Nevis Valley. We went to this river in the valley with a big waterfall, and there was a big 2 wires, and we had to cross holding onto the top wire and not beating the bottom wire. That's another time when we were in Scotland. And when I was in the Lake District with the Scouts, we went on my first steam train. We blew right over a ferry and there was a steam train. We blew steam train, and I've been on steam trains twice. And Brendan McQuaid gave me some tickets. I think I bought one once myself. I think he gave me one set. I got I think I bought my own and I took my nephew Kieran the first time, and then David and my other nephew the second time, and my mother was with us too. Mrs. Mary Connolly, her name would have been MacDonald, and before that her mother was Sheelan. We're from Connolly originally, and my father would have been from Armagh, KV Armagh, or Duluth, a wee parish around Armagh, Armagh. Anyway, I think of anything else. Mainly yes. When I was a kid, I used to go out looking. I loved wildflowers too. I found me orchids down in Navi Bank, and spotted orchids and the pyramid orchid. I was really into wildlife. I saw a hedgehog one time. We were coming back from bingo, and Kieran was with us in the taxi, and my nephew, and we saw a hedgehog cross the road, and I went back and I looked for the hedgehog in the plants, and I found him, and I saw that's my hedgehog. I actually went back to look for it, and I actually found him. I took a chance, put my hands into bushes, but I found him. Oh yeah, and I saw a lizard in the Moran Mountains. I got Arthur took a black and white picture of it. I lost the picture since, but I had the lizard ran into the header, and I went after. I knew not to grab it by its tail, and I picked it up, and Arthur took a picture of it. Oh, I did the Mara cycle too, Dublin to Belfast. I think it was 1998. When I was a teenager, I cycled to Dublin and back on an old mountain bike. I got as far as Straw, and I said, what the hell, I'd go to Dublin. And it was a bank holiday, and there was the marathon, Dundalk, or the Dublin Marathon was on. And I remember coming back on the motorway, and it was just opened at the time. I was when the new motorway was built, and I was told off by the guards to get off the motorway. I didn't know anything about motorways at that time, so I got told off. Being on a bicycle on a motorway, I I never seen a motorway before. Before that. Oh, I did, down in the north, but I mean, I didn't. Saw them when I was walking to the Ulster Museum with the Scouts. We went to the Ulster Transport Museum and walked. I remember looking over the bridge at the traffic. I still love to this day looking over bridges, over motorways, and looking at the traffic passing. Yeah, I got in trouble over it one time, starting on a bridge. But I won't get into that. Thought I was going to jump over. I was just like looking over the motorway, like at the traffic, you know. And anyway, it doesn't matter. I talked my way out of it. Anyway, it was quite funny. No, like I've been all the places, up in mountains and cliffs and all this. I've been on the Iron Islands too, yeah. And at the fort, looking over the cliffs. Like I've been in places where I could easily have jumped over. Never mind standing on a bridge in County Louth and Dundalk to jump over a bridge. When if I wanted to do myself in, I could have done it in a lot more better places, more memories for the people. Anyway, I'm really joking. Anyway, all I have to throw myself is in the. I don't have to walk as far as to Ballymac roundabout to jump over the bridge. I can do it in Dundalk at the jump into the Castletown River. Anyway, I'm only joking. I would never do that. I wouldn't hurt people by doing that. I'm not that kind of person. Anyway, that's the crack. Was there anything else? Anyway, oh yeah, and I cycled to Newcastle too. Anyway, that's the crack. Anyway, that's mainly it. I can't think of anything else. I've done loads of things that I haven't mentioned, but I can't mention them all or I'll be here forever and ever and ever. I've done so much in my life, even though people have done a lot more. Oh yeah, one more thing. I was down in Abbey Bank with my friend Chloe, and she just had broken up with her boyfriend and she was all upset. And we were sitting at Soldier's Point, and I noticed this woman. In Soldier's Point, there's kind of a green fence going out onto the mud to stop people and horses. I think they put their horses out to stop them escaping, and people going on behind the houses. And she was going around the fence with her kids, and they were taking bicycles with them. She had three kids with her, and they were going around. I said to Chloe, "You're going to get stuck," and Chloe said, "Don't interfere." And I said, and then I saw her getting stuck, and the tide was coming in, and I said, "No, I have to do something. I have to save them." And I ran down, and I walked out, and she was stuck, and I helped her out, and then I got stuck. Then I went back for a bicycle, so children were able to get away because they were light, but she got stuck. And then I was all mudded, and she called her husband, and he gave me a lift home. And he said, "What happened?" I didn't want to get into it. I didn't want to get her in trouble. But I saved her. And not as much as Connor. Connor saved a few people out in Black Rock that went over the river. I wish people would stop going over that river. Connor's not going to be there forever to save them. He saved two sets of people, you know, by seeing them. First time he went out, and I was there, and he went out, and I asked Christoph where he was, and he said he's saving some people out across the river. And the second time he said, "I'm leaving it to you, God, you can get your feet wet." He actually said that to God, "God, you can get your feet wet this time." And And he forgot just called the rescue. But yeah, someone has to do it. Anyway, oh yeah, Christoph. I went a couple of years ago. It was 80 years anniversary of the plane crash up in the mountain. I put plaques and different things over the years, and someone put a new beautiful plaque with a model of a plane and the parts of the plane. And we went up to lay a wreath for 80 years of the men that died during the war with the Liberator bomber crashing up in the mountain. And Christoph went up with me, and I made a wreath. Before that I was up with Pauline, and we saw it was going to be next year was going to be down with us, so I said I had to do something. So 1942, so it was 2022 that I laid the wreath. The day before St. Patrick's Day. Anyway, that's the crack. Christoph's a good man. Helps Connolly, works for Connolly. I get so jealous of him sometimes. I get jealous of most people. I've known Connor 18 years, and new people come along, and Connor, I get jealous of these new people coming along, even Chloe and Fiona. Of course, Pauline's known him forever. She's known him over 20 years, so I can't get jealous of Pauline. She probably gets jealous of me. Anyway, can't forget Debbie. I remember going to, she's a great lady, she's a teacher, and she's Connor's lodger. Anyway, she's a nice lady. She's a school teacher too. Fiona's a school teacher. Chloe works in a bank, but before that she made brilliant cakes. Let me tell you something funny. We were in, I've written a storybook, like 100 copies made into hardback, and I was given one to Killian. She was at a race, and his girlfriend was running in the race too. Anyway, I was given a book, and he has to open it up, and the exact page where it says Chloe makes brilliant cakes, especially carrot cakes. And he opens up the page. All the pages he can open it up on, he opens it up on that page and embarrasses Chloe. Embarrasses me too, because I didn't realise I'd written that in the book, in my story. In the last book, story of Brennan's Tales, story of my life, but there was a story I wrote, Into the West, and it wasn't actually about Chloe, but I mentioned a Chloe in the story that made brilliant cakes, and he had to open on that page. All the pages you could open on, he had to open on that and read from it. It's just like one of those things, anyway, that's the crack. It was out in Balogan Park, and she did very well, and she's going to be running a marathon in Ireland. She's on GoFundMe, and she raised over 1,000 euros, so she's brilliant, and she's my hero, and she's my cousin, or hopefully she's my cousin. We still got to work that out. Anyway, thank you. Hello, it's Brandon again. I just like to say, my friend Connor Hughes, I've done a few things with him. Remember him bringing me to the River Boyne, and us crossing the River Boyne. There was a kind of Bear Grylls kind of way over rivers, walking over concrete bridges, over fences and all this, and oh God, I wasn't that fit at the time, and I was trying to keep up with him, and it was good crack. And then I remember one time since Christmas, I spent a few St. Stephen's with him. He go in Blackrock. He does an event every year, and he did something with a post, and he decided for a joke that he made this net thing that looked like a nest, and me and him took a ladder out to the big old telephone post, kind of wooden, the post they use for telephone wires. It was on the beach in Blackrock. We got a ladder and we got a rope, and we pulled it up. I pulled it up, and he walked up the ladder, and he screwed it on, and he got a chicken, a kind of a toy chicken, and put it in it for a joke. And we were nearly caught by the guards. He went on, and I was going off the beach with a rope, and there was the guards driving past with me with a rope, but they didn't see me. And then next day, all the bird watchers were out looking at the nest, and I said it to Christine, the zoologist in Scotland. She's from Knockbridge, and she thought it was real. Oh, it was so funny. Oh, it was so funny. Oh God, the bird watchers is probably looking at the nest and seeing the toy chicken. God, it was so. But that was the kind of thing. Connor was he's kind of a practical mess, or a joker. And then I went a third time to Clare with him. We went 2 times with Fiona, and this was the third time when we found the spring gentian and flowers and all that in the burn. Went to the burn the first time with Fiona and Connor, and we went in the Turlock, swimming in the Turlock. And then I actually went recently to Clare with Connor and his new girlfriend, and hopefully he keeps this one. A really, it's the kind of thing. Out of the tree, Anya, since I've known Anya, Fiona, and his new girlfriend. Who's the best? I think I won't decide. It's between Fiona and his new girlfriend. So anyway, that's the crack. I went out to the Boyne with Chloe and Connor. We went exploring. I went exploring too with Connor too. We made a track and we found this long canal in the Boyne, and found an old fisherman's not a fisherman's, a canal house and all that, and there was an old tunnel where they used to take down the boats to the canal. It was hidden and it was all overgrown, and we found a canal gate and all that. So I used to go out with Jay O'Neill cycling too. He was married to what was her name? Neela Shaw. And the lads, we used to go all over the place, and I've been to Clifton again with my brother, and we went to some island. I've been on the Islands too, with Ulton Daly, and we went to the ring for it. There's bits of things I've done. Oh yeah, I've been on a steam train 3 times, not 2 times. One time in like I say, on a wee blue train in Cumbria, and was on a blue train going up to where was it? Up to Dublin, and then we got my mother and Kieran, and we got back on an Enterprise, and then another time we went as far as Drogheda with Kieran and David and my mother, as far as the Drogheda and back on a black train, a steam train. Anyway, anything else? I was meant to be going whale watching one time, but it got cancelled. Hopefully I might get whale watching next summer. Oh yeah, my friend, this is how bad it is with things, my friend went to Iceland to do a marathon, and she went to go whale watching. She didn't see any whales. Like, she went the whole way to Iceland to see whales, and she didn't see them. It's just unlucky, You can be just unlucky. I might see. Oh yeah, when I was in Donegal, we went down to this with Connor's girlfriend, and Connor brought me down to this Strand beach in Donegal, and we went down these big steps down to this cove. And I went in to the Atlantic. But when I was with Fiona and Connor one time, we took the boat down, and I went into the Atlantic Ocean, or a cove, an in cove. But I remember we got trouble with the current, and I had to go out and pull the boat back in the shore. I had to walk it in. And I was worried about the jellyfish. Anyway, that's the crack. Anything else? When I was in Scotland, I was there for a week. I remember Brendan Dunnigan took us out. He had something wrong with his stomach, and had to go to the hospital. So someone had to take his car back and me back. On the way back, and we saw bird watchers, and we stopped, and there was a rare duck two rare ducks on the beach, to pair. I can't remember the name of them, but I'm told they were really rare. I've seen peregrine falcons in places. Of course, I've seen hedgehogs, otters, pygmy shrews, fox, they say fox, red deer. I've seen what was this? Different deer. What's the name of that? Or deer. Oh, come back to me. Brain freeze. Anyway, I've seen sika deer and different things, and the other deer. The ones the Normans brought into the country, I've seen wild mountain goats. I went out for a walk with my sister one time up to Clare Cairn, and we went out on the bicycles, and I seen wild mountain goats. See. These are just memories. I used to cycle all over the place. I cycled to Manchester Boyce one time using a map. Mr. O'Connor, he's passed away. He passed away a couple of years ago. He had went out swimming and he had a heart attack. He was my art teacher. Mr. McGinnity helped me write Big Tusk, my first story, kind of, about a baby man being rescued by the children of the tribe. He met me one day on the road and he said he'd help me with my reading. Then he says to him, anything else you want? I said, would you help me write this story? And he did. So that was the whole start of the writing of the story. So I can't really read that well. I don't know. And then I paint and I take pictures of wildlife. I go out. I've made books of my pictures, my wildlife pictures. I've been to places on the bicycle around County Louth. I've been to Wiskin Round Tower. I did that recently. My hip is hurting me at the moment, so it's stopped me, but I'm getting a wee bit better, so I might get out on the bike more now and start doing things more again and try to get hill walking again. That's me, I guess. I'll probably think of more. I went to Dingle one time on my own and see fungi. I went a few times. I went with my sisters too when I was young too. On the bus and train. I've seen fungi a few times. The dolphin. I remember the first time I went on my own. I went out to this castle in the tower in Dingle and watching them coming up for air and all that, and trying to figure out where he was going to come up next. Saw something strange one Christmas in the harbour. Thought it was a whale, but I don't. To this day, I have this picture and don't know what it is. People say it's a branch, but I don't think it looks alive. It was two parts, and one looked like a dorsal fin of a whale, but I'm told it's not a whale. But anyway, we'll never know. Anyway, that's the crack. Oh yeah, I used to walk to Blackrock and draw. Like I mentioned that before. I love old things too. I used to go explore and looking for things on the map of old things. And go on the bike. I used to go on the bike everywhere. Go out to Blackrock every day. I used to, as a teenager, I used to cycle to Calford, over to Jenkinstown to Omeet, and then cycle back to the coast. I used to do that every Sunday on my bike. I used to know this fellow called Mark Sweeney. We used to go out fishing with him. I remember one time going up to Stevenstown House before all the floors were rotten. We were climbing around it, messing and all that as kids. Used to take him on the bar of the bicycle around going to the River Dee and seeing a tree creeper. I saw a glassy ibis once, and I got pictures of it. Brittany rang me and told me where it was at the Newry Bridge. I got some pictures, pictures of wax wings and all that. Before they stopped coming, the winters got too mild in their own country, so they stopped coming. They were kind of before they came because it was bad winters in their own country, you know. Different things. Anyway, let me think. What else did I do? Anyway, that's it for a minute.